in store. It's the Washington Commanders and the Minnesota Vikings. Mike Tirico along with Greg Olson. Will Reichert will get this one started. Off we go from U.S. Bank Stadium. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. The Washington offense going to make their way to the field for the first time. They're led out by the former number 2 overall pick. That was back in 2015, Marcus Mariota.
It's just so nice to have a veteran like this on your roster that you know might not get a ton of reps in practice, might not get a ton of reps in the preseason, but when you need to turn to him, he's there and he's ready. They've been a starter in this league. They've had success. He knows how to manage a huddle. He knows how to read defenses. He does all the intangibles that you need to turn to when your team needs a settling force at quarterback. To have one of these guys, man, what a weapon.
He's taken down, but just shy of midfield. 19 yards right away to kick off this drive.
And a Commander's first down.
I like this. Right out of the gate, finding ways to get the running backs involved early in the passing game. What that does throughout the rest of the game, Mike, is those linebackers, their drops don't get quite as deep. Those secondary defenders don't get quite as deep. So you know what it opens up down the road? Big-time shots downfield.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. 2 nice play calls here to kick off the drive. 15 more on that one.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground. And tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around. So continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage. Mix in the runs with the pass. And if they can continue to generate these big explosive runs, I don't think they need to go away from it.
They get 21 on that one. First down, Washington.
Washington, first down. First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
You know this defense worked all week defending this quarterback as a scrambler, as a runner. But sometimes it's just hard to simulate until you see him in real life. His speed, his ability to create. We saw him get him here early on the big scramble. He's able to pick up the first down and keep the drive alive.
Now it's the Arizona product that is Jacory Krosky-Merritt. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
Now it's 2nd and 1. Now this looks like a design run. And he'll fight forward, doesn't get a whole lot, but he got what he needed. It is 1st and goal coming up.
Sometimes, Mike, the best plan is also the simplest plan. And for this team, just snap the ball to your quarterback, let him find some daylight, and go get that first down himself.
Great chance to make an early statement here on the road. It is 1st and goal. No handoff, he'll keep it himself. And this time, he's in. Marcus Mariota, touchdown Washington. Exactly the way they scripted this one. A beautiful opening drive, Greg. Able to find the end zone on the game's first possession.
And Mike, the word that comes to mind looking at that drive is execution, and that's exactly what they talked about all week long. They wanted to come out early in this game and establish an early rhythm, and that's exactly what they did with that touchdown drive.
Now Jake Moody for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Commanders will take a 7-0 lead.
Commanders 7, Vikings nothing.
So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. Price now to return it. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. So, the Vikings come out. Technically, it is year 2 for J.J. McCarthy, but really, it's year 1. Did not play at all in the regular season last year with the knee injury. The former Michigan Wolverine, the quarterback of the Vikings.
So after getting drafted in the first round a year ago to Minnesota, gets off to a slow start, suffers an early injury, ends up watching the entire season from the sidelines. Sam Darnold took the starting job and ran with it. But now it's J.J. McCarthy's time. He got to watch firsthand how good you can be in this Kevin O'Connell system if you just rely on the weapons, trust the reads, and play within the confines of that system, because Kevin O'Connell has shown 2 things. He can win football games, and he can coach quarterbacks. Didn't take them long to get now to their opponent's side of the field. I like the idea of starting this drive with some explosive pass plays. That's going to open everything up, both underneath in the passing game and on the ground. So big play to get this drive off to a fast start.
He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a first down.
A gain of 12 yards.
They got to do a better job of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket all week, Mike, against mobile quarterbacks. You talk about rushing as a group. This time they get a little undisciplined with their rush lane integrity, and he makes them pay.
They'll fake the give, and now it's McCarthy. And he can't hang on through the contact. Incomplete. Good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. It'll bring up second down.
And that's exactly what every defense is trying to do in the passing game. They want to muddy up these windows, Mike, make every throw as contested as possible. No separation, contact right at the catch point, and does a great job forcing the incomplete pass.
He'll maneuver his way down to the 32. Frankie Luvu there to make the play defensively.
A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
They need the 24-yard line as they come up for third down. Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. He's got a receiver, it's Addison. And they're going to be set up right around the 10-yard line.
It's a gain of
22 yards, the pickup there. First down, Minnesota.
First down. First down and 10 yards to go.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield.
And he's in! Aaron Jones. Touchdown, Minnesota.
And what a response by this offense. It's not easy taking the field, Mike, for the first time in the game, and you find yourself already down to score. They watch their opponent kind of march down the field and score on the opening possession, and they're able now to go out and square it on up. Allows you to take a deep breath, maybe get a little confidence for your defense to go out and get a stop, and they come over with this extra point. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
On now for the extra point. Here's Will Riker. He knocks it through. The Vikings come right back to tie it at 7. Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. Now return coming from the 7. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Commanders' offense ready to get going with their second possession. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with first down. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up second down. Trying to connect with the veteran Zach Ertz that time. It's second down. He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him. Jonathan Grenard. Keeping the motor going. He runs them down. It's a loss of 5.
So after picking up some positive yardage on first down, they end up going backwards on second. That sack now brings up 3rd and long, and what most of the time is a very pass-happy situation makes them very one-dimensional.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Back to throw. Now pass deep for McLaurin. And he's going to be dragged down, but not until he's inside the 25. A big play there for Washington. A gain of 57 yards. So a big 3rd down hookup takes us to the break. Harris Evans on the scoreboard. More from the Twin Cities in a moment. Commanders with the football to begin the second quarter. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. As we are ready to get back underway. That is caught. And he'll take it on in. Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, Commanders.
You know, Mike, at this level, not all touchdowns are created equal. There's some plays that result in touchdowns, and then there are touchdown strikes. And this one is the latter. I mean, you talk about a confidently thrown ball on the money downfield. It doesn't get a lot better than this, and his receiver is able to take it in for 6.
On is Moody to add the extra point. He's got it. And the Commanders will move out to a 14-7 lead.
Commanders 14, Vikings 7.
So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. Price now to return it. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense ready for their second possession. They trail now 14-7 as they'll come up for 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones to begin this drive. He did a nice job there, sidestepping tacklers on his way to a pickup of 8.
At the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 2. Play action now. It's McCarthy. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down. Jacob Martin gets him for a loss of 4. And that'll set up 3rd down.
Both sides now going back and forth, trading blows. After a nice pickup and a handful of yards, the defense responds with a big sack. Now brings up 3rd and medium, and let's see if they decide to go back on the ground or keep it in the air.
To the air on third down is McCarthy. He's got his tight end, Hawkinson. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. That's his first reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on third down.
I know, I'm biased. But listen, you can't convince me, Mike, that there's a better option on the field, especially when you got a guy like this, then on third down or critical moments. That's where the ball needs to go. The size, the speed, the matchup problems that he creates. If I was in a critical situation, there is no doubt where I'm going with the ball.
The intended receiver was Justin Jefferson. And it'll be second down. From the shotgun, it's a throw from McCarthy. And that'll go for a gain of 7. And it's going to set up third down.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up third and 3.
To throw once more. Here's McCarthy. Pressure gets there, and down he goes.
It looked like that zone coverage had his head a little bit spinning there, Mike. I'm not sure he got a real clear picture of what the defense was giving him, and as a result, he holds the ball a little bit longer than he would have liked, and the defense is able to get home.
On fourth down, it's Will Riker time for this Viking field goal. Spotted at the 45. This is a 55-yard attempt. And that is no good. He missed it. And they are not able to draw closer.
And this is the danger of trying these long field goals. Remember, Mike, if you miss, the other team gets the ball at the spot of the kick. So it's going to end up setting them up for great field position as they start this next drive.
On play action, he'll set up to throw. Andrew Van Ginkel in there for the sack. It is a loss of 6 to begin the drive.
This is a great reminder of why it's so important to have great offensive tackles. When you get beat so fast off the edge, the quarterback has nowhere to go in the pocket to escape, and that's what happens.
Work to do now as they come up on second and long. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down.
Just a simple hitch route. Certainly nothing special there or anything downfield, but the idea is the more of those you throw and those efficient passes, the second the defense moves up to take it away, that's when you go for the big ones.
Throwing now on third and long. He'll take a shot here for the end zone. That is going to be hauled in. He's got it. Harry McFlurry. Touchdown, Washington.
This is when you're very fortunate as an offensive play caller, Mike, that you not only have the speed on the outside, but you got the big arm behind center, because it doesn't get real fancy. If you can hold up in the protection, you're saying run as fast and as far as you can. I'm going to throw it as far as I can, and when you connect, it is a thing of beauty, and in this case, it results in a touchdown.
Booty now for the extra point. He's got it. The Commanders will take a 21-7 lead.
Commanders 21, Vikings 7. to
So,
kick off.
following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. Price now to return it. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. They'll begin with 1st and 10. The drive begins with a carry by Jones. And the D closes quickly. He stopped after a gain of a yard. Frankie Louvu there to make the play defensively. Here's a 2nd and 9. Now McCarthy. A short one taken by Hawkinson. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
Give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allowed the 1st down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground. And they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the 1st down.
McCarthy now to throw on 1st and 10. Going up top. A whole lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete.
And I think at this point here, 2nd quarter of this game, I think now is where we can start seeing each team open up their offense a little bit more. Early on, everyone's kind of feeling each other out, getting a taste of what the game plans are. Here, they finally take a shot downfield. Nice job by the defense, but this is going to put a little depth in that coverage and hopefully open up some other things.
That's caught by Jefferson on the right side. They get 12 yards on that pass. It'll be a Vikings 1st down.
And this is why most teams, Mike, decide to take the ball first after the halftime break because they want to be able to control this middle 4. At the end of the 1st half, you can use your timeouts. You can use some strategy to steal an extra possession. If they're able now to go down and come away with points, they'll have a chance to double it up again right after the halftime break. Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand because right now on that field, there's nobody.
He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not, and be taken down there. So now a timeout for the Vikings. That is their 1st, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Third and 10. From the gun, here's McCarthy. He'll take a shot here, back of the end zone. To the end zone, it's intercepted.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's position. Being able to get himself to a spot, to get his hands on the ball, and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you were sitting here saying, that's a touchdown. And instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
There's Terry McLaurin and the Commanders' offense heading out for their next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Here's a designed run. And a good job defensively to rally to the ball. They hold them to a short game. The Commanders will signal for the 1st of their timeouts.
Brings
as
up
they'll
second
stop it
and
with
8.
just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Second down, 8 yards to go. He'll look to throw. There's Ertz. He's got it right side. And nice work there after the catch. He's a little short of the first down after a gain of 7. Now a timeout here by Washington. That is their second, as they'll stop it just a little bit over 30 seconds to go in this first half. You don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. They'll look to throw. Has his man. It's Samuel. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8. Now the Commanders will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go until halftime. So, 1st and 10 here now at the 38. Now they'll set up to throw. That's to the rookie out of Virginia Tech, Jalen Lane.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend. And their only realistic chance to end the half with points is to throw the ball near the sideline, gain as many yards as you can, and then hopefully either get yourself in position to kick the field goal or at the very least in position where you can attempt a Hail Mary.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Really nice coverage here on 3rd down. They took away all of the outlets the quarterback had. Really left them with no opportunity other than to just throw that ball away. It's going to bring up 4th down.
On 4th down, the Commanders are going to send out their veteran Tress Way to punt. Back deep for the Vikings, it's Miles Price. That one hits at the 3, but goes in the wrong direction for the punter. It turns out to be a touchdown. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll elect not to run another play. Instead, just take a knee and take this on into the locker room.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the 3rd quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thank you, my friend. Back here on EA Sports as we count down to the kickoff of this 2nd half. Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. Ty Felton now on the return. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The Vikings offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. They'll do so with 1st and 10. On the ground now with Jones. And he'll work this past the 25 to the 26-yard line. It is Percy Butler to bring him down.
It's 2nd and 8.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
So, from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 8. To throw is McCarthy. Off-balance throw. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Yards on the play.
A pickup there of 13. First down, Minnesota.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes. So the offense trots out the old jumbo package. So they bring out 3 tight ends, big bodies, but the defense kind of sees it coming. They've got to change it up. You can't be so predictable. Big bodies run, small bodies pass, and I think that's a little bit of what's going on here.
He'll go left side here and complete this one. Second time they've hooked up on this drive. This one good for 12 and a first down.
This is a really nice job of just finding a hole in coverage, Mike. And I used to say, hey, when you're open, stay open. That's the art of route running versus zone coverage. And it's a friendly target for the quarterback in space, and they're able to convert.
And he will lose yardage on the play. They knock him back to midfield.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
McCarthy to the air on 2nd down. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it, but I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
Looked like a lateral there, but now it's a free football. The Commanders come up with it. He was looking for Jordan Addison that time. And there it is. The defense comes up with the big play, forcing the fumble as they get their offense right back on the field. Coming up, Greg, with a big turnover.
Taking the ball away, Mike, has really become an art form in the NFL. Some teams are good at it, some teams not so much. But in this case, great job by the defense taking that one away.
The Commanders' offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They start with the lead and the football. They do so with tremendous field position. It's 1st and 10. They'll begin with a zone read. And that one's going to be shut down quickly. A minimal gain.
They went to the design quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You can see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. A throw on the move is caught. And they continue to be tough to stop. Chance to extend the lead even further as they are set up with 1st and goal.
First down.
Sudden change, so you find yourself defensively a little bit on your heels. Your offense just turned the ball over, and now you've got to go out and make a stand. Well, so far this offense has moved the ball pretty quickly, but can they dig in and at least force a field goal?
This one, give it up, and here's Debo. And this is not going to work out as planned. Tough spot to try to run a play like that. It is blown up behind the line.
Second and goal at the 11-yard line.
So push back to the 11-yard line for second and goal. Taking off.
Great job in coverage here. Nowhere for the quarterback to go with the ball. He decides to tuck it and turn it to a runner. They get to him quickly. Picks up a couple yards, but not enough now. Brings up third down.
Good job so far by the defense protecting the short field. Now it's third and goal. They motion the slot man left. Throwing here on third and goal. To the goal line and in. Jalen Lane. Touchdown, Commanders. On is Moody to add the extra point. The kick is good. And the Commanders will extend this third quarter lead.
Commanders 28, Vikings 7. Jake Moody.
So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. Ty Felton now on the return. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will take over. Out comes the Minnesota offensive unit as they get set to take over. They find themselves down 3 touchdowns here, needing to flip the script in a hurry. And they'll start it here on first down. To throw, it's McCarthy. On the move left. And he'll slide to a halt after picking up about 6.
Take a look at his eyes. You can see the quarterback clearly going through all of his progressions, and he's quick to realize there's nowhere to go with this ball. He makes the right decision and gets out of there, picks up some good yardage, and gets down on the ground.
On second down, it's Jones. And this will wind up a Vikings first down as he takes it to the 35.
So, Mike, you know by now my philosophy on third down. If it was up to me, I don't even want to be in third down. I want to get all of my conversions on first and second down and be able to stay in those neutral down situations. So it's exactly what they do here. They lean on the ground game and pick up a fresh set of downs.
They'll fake the give, and now it's McCarthy. He's going to let one fly for Addison. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very stout there. That's going to bring up second down.
Incomplete.
And this is really just more of the same that we saw in the first half. They have made it a huge struggle in the passing game. I mean, just no easy completions, no open space. Every single ball has been contested, and they've done a great job all day.
He'll step up and run this. A terrific run there, all the way down to the 30-yard line.
It's a game.
So, 3 quarters now in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Now this is going to be a design run. They let him keep it, and he's going to give himself up, but not before he picks up the first down.
18 more yards.
There's just so many ways this offense can beat you, Mike. He adds such a layer to this offense with their ability to use him as a design runner, and we can see there as he picks up the first down.
Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun, it is. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack. Eddie Goldman getting through there to drop him for a loss of 6.
Been a largely forgettable performance from this offense up until this point, Mike. I mean, these sacks, they just continue to stop so many of their drives throughout the entire game. And then you look up at the scoreboard, and it pretty much reflects that here in the 4th quarter.
Throwing on 2nd down is McCarthy. That is caught, and he's in. Justin Jefferson, touchdown Vikings. Well, Greg, the light's still on way down at the end of the tunnel here. They are climbing back into this one with that touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And they have a tall task ahead of them, Mike, but they have a chance. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen. They got a 2-possession game here late. They're going to need a couple stops, and they're going to need a couple things to bounce their way.
Riker now to add the extra point. His kick is good, and the Vikings are able to edge a bit closer.
Commanders 28, Vikings 14.
Riker out now, following the touchdown, as he kicks this one away. Deebo Samuel going to get a chance to return it. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. There's Terry McLaurin, and the Commanders' offense heading out for their next possession. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early. Boy, did that pay great dividends to this point. Right away, they'll set up to throw. A screen set up for Krosky Merritt. Down the left sideline. And they will finally run him down. A big play to kick off this drive. 36 yards.
Well, I think one thing's for sure, Mike. I don't think we're seeing an offense that is comfortable with this late lead. They're continuing to put pressure on the defense and say, hey, I don't care how much we're up by. We're going to continue to execute our passing game, and if there's opportunities downfield, we're going to continue to take them.
And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw. That is caught. What a throw. Jalen Lane. Touchdown, Commanders. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. Greg, that's one of those scores where it's not completely over, but it's getting to be about that time.
Yeah, Mike, I just think they're entering miracle stage right now, and I just don't think there's any coming back from this deficit.
Moody now for the the extra point. It's up and through. And the Commanders will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter.
Vikings 14. Jake Moody.
So, following that touchdown, Moody is back out to kick it off. Price now to return it. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30.
At their own 29.
The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting set for their next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with a way to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those into big plays. Throwing here on 1st and 10 is McCarthy. Jacob Martin getting in there to drop him. It'll be a loss of 7 to start this drive.
Brings up second.
So
and
many of these
17.
possessions start with negative
23-yard
plays on 1st down, and you're just going to hear every offensive coordinator stress. It is so important we don't fall behind the sticks, but when you just can't pass protect and give your quarterback time, this is going to continue to happen.
That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose, and it's going to force third down.
17.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
On 3rd and long, here's McCarthy. He's going to let this one go deep. That is incomplete. Great work to get in there, make things difficult defensively, and it sets up 4th down.
4th down.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. He's going to dial up another deep ball. That's going to be incomplete. They felt compelled to go for it on 4th and long. That was a big ask, and the defense turns them away. The Commanders' offense ready to come back out for this next possession. Well, the goal here is to run some time off the clock. The game is well in hand as they get it back on offense for 1st and 10. A gain of 4 as he's taken down.
Merritt, the ball carrier, brought down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Here's 2nd and 6. Throwing now from the gun. Gets it to Samuel, left side. And he'll be taken down as the clock ticks towards 2 minutes to play.
5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
So, 2 minutes to play here in the 2nd half. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. 3rd and a yard. They'll try to pick it up with Krosky Merritt. Oh, the defense meets him in the backfield. They stopped him dead in his tracks and set up 4th down.
3-yard loss on the play.
So it's a pretty manageable 3rd down. So they really have the option to run or pass. So they decide to keep the ball on the ground, which I don't mind as long as you've made the decision already that you're willing to use fourth down to pick up the rest of the yards. If not, I think that's a big mistake.
Moody's kick is good. And the Commanders will extend their lead.
I think at this point in the game, Mike, when you have things under control, not only were they able to hold on to the ball for a while, they still were able to manage to add 3 points.
Moody comes back on the field after making the field goal. He sets a kickoff. Price now to return it. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. The shotgun. It's a throw for McCarthy. The throw on the run is complete. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. So now a timeout for the Vikings. That is their first. They'll stop it here with 1:07 on the clock. On 1st down, here's McCarthy. We'll get this out quickly to Addison. That's a second charge timeout for Minnesota. And good yardage there after the catch. They'll wind up with a gain of 7 on 1st down.
A 7-yard pickup.
In a lot of offenses, Mike, these quick passes to the wide receivers really fall under the run category. Of course, they're going to go down as a forward pass, but to a lot of offensive coordinators in the league, it's a lot easier to pick up 1st and 2nd down yardage on these quicks than it is to turn around and hand it off to your running back and count on blocking everybody.
In motion, it's Jefferson. On 2nd down, here's McCarthy. He'll get this over the middle to Jefferson. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down.
This is what every offense looks to do, Mike. They want to attack the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And oftentimes, that's where the chunk plays come. Give it to your receiver on the move and let them do the rest.
Showing off the footwork, sliding down after a gain of 8. The Vikings go ahead and use their final timeout to stop it with a little over 30 left in the game. Here's 2nd and 2. From the gun, here's McCarthy. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack. Eddie Goldman in there for the sack. Worked his way through. It's a loss of 5.
Mike, this isn't real complicated. You're just not going to win a lot of NFL games when you continue to give up sacks at the rate that they are. I mean, this is just a complete disaster for this offensive line, and if they don't get it fixed, this game could be a runaway.
Here we go. One final play. And this is caught on the sideline. Going to have the 1st down. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. They say the feet were out of bounds. Wow. Big, tight call there. For the moment, it'll be 4th down. So, a win here on the road for the Commanders. And right away, you can point to the turnover battle. Always key. Tells the story so often. It did here again today. Their offense didn't turn it over at all. They finished on the plus side with the takeaways. As a result, they're going to come away with the victory. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.